Should be live. Looks like we are live on YouTube and Twitter. This is going to be fun. This is going to be good. Let me make sure that this is the right link here, and I'm going to send that out to Farcaster, see if anyone wants to join there. Yep, it is. Okay, cast that. Then we're going to see if we're here on Twitter. Yep, we're here on Twitter. So we're live on Twitter. Okay, this is going to be a fun stream because made a lot of progress on my game Stoke Fire, and now we're working on some very fun stuff. We're working on the logic for the battle mechanics, which should be really cool. This is kind of, battling is the fun part of games, right? So I'm gonna tell you my plan for that, and we're gonna kind of start working on that. Before I do that, though, let me talk a little bit about, or show a little bit of like what I've been up to recently. Last night I was up to like 3:30 working on stuff because I was just having so much fun, and I could not fall asleep because I was just thinking about these different ideas of what to build on here. And so I was up till 3:30 last night. But I got a lot done. Sometimes nighttime, for whatever reason, is like my most productive time. So this is the app Stoke Fire, kind of a game, and made some pretty big changes yesterday where you can now chop wood. Let me see. I think I have everything running that will hopefully let me do this. You can chop wood and gather food more often. So it makes it so you can actually interact with the game more often, which is good. And then I kind of updated some things here so that you have more data on the relations. Right now, this is just like a dev version, so it's just me battling myself right now. But you can see like how many huts you have, how many villagers you have, how much resources you have. And the other big thing I updated is that when you stoke the fire, this is kind of almost like a checkpoint of sorts, where at that point you have to have enough resources to kind of keep your village going. So I don't know how well you can see these, but these are my stats. Like I have 8 villagers. And so when I stoke the fire, that means I need to have 8 food to feed my village. And so I'll then lose 8 food resources here because I just stoked the fire. I had to feed my villagers. And so it's kind of like a checkpoint, but you only have to hit the stoke fire every 3 days. Also, when you stoke the fire, that's also when your score gets added to you. And that's another thing I changed, is that your score goes up based on your growth of villagers. So if you're able to add more villagers to your village, and villagers will only join your village if you have huts to house them and if you have a surplus of food for new villagers to come in. And then your new score will be based on how many villagers move in, which means if you don't have enough food in your village to feed your current villagers, some of those villagers will actually leave your village and you'll lose some score. So you have to kind of maintain your village. You got to manage the village. It's not just simple like, hey, villagers hanging around. You actually have to kind of plan around some things before you stoke the fire. So yeah, those were some changes that I made, kind of balancing out some of those resources stuff. Another thing I added is just this cool updates page. I've got like 10 to 15 players that are like helping me test this out and play this right now in early access. And so this just kind of helps them kind of know what's changing, since I'm adding things like every day. So it just kind of says, what did I do yesterday, day before, kind of shares the updates. And I'm in like a group chat with those people. So, but it's been really fun. I have the actual version on my phone. It's on test flight, just iOS right now. And so you can't really see it very well, but we've got some people battling on the leaderboard to get the highest score, and it's been kind of fun. And so now kind of the next big thing to add is a battle system, and that's what I'm going to start working on here and right now. If you guys have any questions about this, feel free to put them in the chats. Let's see, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, so you can reply in those couple of different places. Or on Warpcast. So if you have any questions about what I'm doing or this game, let me know. And I'm also give feedback because I'm trying to make this better. So if you have any ideas of like, oh, you should change this, so you should do that, let me know, because that'll be interesting. The other so this is what I did last night at 3:30, and why I was up late and excited about it was, let's see if we can find all my tabs here. Let's see if we can even find where I'm at here. Okay, so this is the smart contracts, because this game does run on the blockchain. Every interaction is happening on chain. And so one of the big things I had to figure out is how to handle my deploy script that deploys the smart contracts. And it can get a little complicated because I have these different things called facets. This is where the actual logic of the game is. These are different facets. And the cool thing about this framework on Solidity that I'm using, it's called Diamond, and it allows me to update these smart contracts so that I can actually add new features and iterate and change things as I go, which is pretty cool. But to do that means you have to kind of deploy the new smart contracts and kind of replace the old ones that you have in a correct way so that you're not like breaking your smart contract on chain. And so I have these different deploy scripts that kind of handle this. So like there's like the basic deploy here. This is like a deploy that works for this is kind of deploying the main Stoke Fire contracts. And then what I had to create was this new update Stoke Fire. And so like these are the basic things that I only deploy once. And then I made it so that I kind of split those out into a way to update the contracts. And then the other way it works is, if we go over here, is that it has these special functions that can see which parts of these facets need updated and which ones need replaced. So it's able to, with these functions, kind of figure out like, okay, what's the same as before, and we'll just replace those. And then if there's anything new, it will add those. So here's like the replace, here's the add. You don't really need to understand how this code works, but just explaining this whole file and everything I got figured out and working. And so then the nice thing about this is I can just change these facets. I can change the logic. I can add new stuff. If I add new facets, then I need to add them here, like our new ones that we're about to work on, which is the attack facet and the defend facet, which handles that logic. And so if you add anything new, you kind of have to place it here. But if I was just to change these older facets, like my resource facet, the build facet, the Stoke facet, I would just basically run this deploy script to update, and it would just handle all the changes. And I don't have to like come in here and like tediously like update things by hand, which is kind of what I was doing before. So this is a really good upgrade and system that will make it so that I don't introduce bugs. Ideally, like that's the idea. So yeah, this new kind of deploy system is really nice and important. And really, once I get like the main facets, like I have attack facet, build facet, defend, resource, I'll most likely just be adding stuff to those facets instead of just keep adding. So kind of once I have these in place, I just run this script and it will just update anything that needs to be updated. So yeah, that's kind of what I was working on. And just having fun with it because I was making lots of progress. When you get into the groove, it feels good. Okay, let's kind of organize our different tabs in a good order here. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to start working on the battle system, which is going to be pretty cool, I think. So I'll kind of explain, I think I talked about this a little bit on one of the other streams, and I've thought through it a little bit more. So I have some ideas more fleshed out. But kind of the idea is to let every 24 hours, you get to decide which of your resources you want to defend. So you have a limitation. You can only choose one of your resources. Right now, it's just wood and food. And so you can protect one of those resources, and a attacker is then going to attack you every 24 hours, or they can choose to. So the attacker gets to choose who they want to attack, like who on the leaderboard of the other players they want to attack. And then their second choice is which of your resources do they want to try to steal. And if they try to steal the one that you're defending, then they actually lose something. Like they might even lose villagers. They might lose some of their resources. I haven't really decided yet. Probably they'll lose like villagers or something. But if they choose the one you didn't defend, then they actually steal some of your resources. And so it adds a little bit of game theory is kind of the idea. This is kind of like the first simple version of this. I think, later on, there's a lot of things we could add to this to make it maybe even more interesting. So this is just me on here, but just imagine there's other players and you can like select one, you can see kind of what they have, and then kind of make a decision to attack them. And then you, for yourself, you can kind of choose what to defend. So, it's a decently simple system, but running everything on the blockchain, you are kind of limited. But one of the cool things about this is that this will use kind of an interesting mechanic, because one of the problems with I guess one of the problems on the blockchain for, secrecy is that everything's public on the blockchain. All the data that's posted to the blockchain, it's like a public database, right? So it's like anyone can see this stuff. So for games, that kind of can be a problem where you don't know, people. It's a problem where it's like, how do you hide something? How do you make a decision in your game and not let everyone just know what you're doing, and then they could just attack you? And so this is kind of a way to get around that. It's actually a system that's, it's been used before a decent amount in crypto, and I'm going to see how I can leverage it in this game, but it's called like a commit reveal system. And so the idea is that you commit some data, but the data is hashed. So it's encrypted. No one else knows what that data is except you. And then at a later date, you can then reveal the result. You can reveal, you kind of post your secret onto the blockchain, and then on the blockchain or in the smart contract, it can actually figure out what that data was that you had committed previously. So this is kind of an interesting scheme, and that's what I'm going to try to use for this battle mechanic, because I want everything to be on the blockchain. Like I want all the logic to be there. I think that just is kind of interesting. It allows all the different logic to be there. And so that's kind of the idea here. And I've already started on this. So I have the defend facet and the attack facet. I haven't done the attack facet yet. So how this kind of works is the defender commits their choice. And so that's what the secret is. It's just going to be some data that, let's see. We have the secret here. I have to make sure I'm doing this right. So it's basically a hash version of their decision on here. And then I wonder if I'm hashing this right, because I'm saving the secret. I might want to actually save this whole hash instead of just the secret. Maybe. I don't know. I have to think about it. But so that's kind of the idea, is that they're committing that data right here, and they can only commit one at a time. So you can only set up one defense. And so that's what this check is if it's not 0, which means they have nothing set, then they're not allowed to set this. They already committed defense. So it's going to revert on that. And then attackers can choose someone to attack, right? And so that's what we'll have to implement here. They'll attack somebody, and after they've attacked, so it's almost like a 3-step system. So it could take like maybe a day to kind of play out. Like we have people setting up their defense, someone attacking someone, and then the result is revealed. And so that's what this is. The defender then later has to call this function to share what the actual data that they chose. And since we had hashed it earlier here on the commit step, they can't change it, right? Like they can't change what this defense data is. And so then it gets the hash out, and then it's checking, is the revealed hash same? Okay, this is what I'm thinking. So I think I'm right that I need the data here to not just be the secret. This needs to be like the full hash that's stored here. So I think I'll have to change that. But yeah, so then the defender can't change their option. They already chose it. And it's just checking to make sure that they did it. And then, we reset everything to 0 so that they can do this whole thing again. And then in this to do is where we actually have to handle what happens. Like, what were the results of the battle? What resources were taken, who won, who lost. And I think it'll be kind of interesting because, like, in the game, you can imagine, you're setting up your defense, you attack somebody, but you don't know what the result was. And then later, the defender will kind of reveal the result, and then you'll just get a notification or something like, hey, you won this much, or, and so then it adds a little bit of game theory around the resources you have, the timing of things. So yeah, I think it could be kind of fun. I think it could be interesting. The other thing that I'll have to do is, so, technically, if the defender, they once, they've committed their defense, the attacker's attacked, they can kind of know what the answer is. So they could technically not try to call this because they know, I'm going to lose lots of resources or something like that. And so in a way, we have to have some logic or just some game mechanics where we're kind of forcing them to need to call this to do anything else. So I think my idea is that once the state of the battle is to a place where the attacker has made their attack, the defender is then kind of locked where they can't stoke fire. They can't do anything else to move their village forward until they reveal how the battle went. So they're kind of forced to reveal it if they want to do well, or like they'll just die, I guess. So yeah, I think we need that kind of forcing mechanic so that the battles continue on and actually happen. And then the other thing I'm thinking about, which I haven't figured out completely, is that there needs to be some kind of like cooldown of like how many times someone can be attacked, because it'd be a little bit unfair if everyone was just attacking the same person. And so I'm thinking, at least to start out, like the simple version I'm thinking is you can only be attacked once every 24 hours, or after you're attacked, there's a 24-hour cooldown period or something like that. So yeah, there's a few things to kind of figure out in the logic here. And so that's what we're going to kind of start doing, I think. But yeah, it's definitely kind of interesting. Okay, anything going on here? I think my post is here. Yep. Cool. So the other thing I can check, here's kind of like an example of this commit reveal scheme. I'm just going to check that we're doing something right or wrong. Yeah, doing it the right way. Okay, so the commits, commit solution. Yeah, so you have to commit the full solution, not just the secret. And then, so that's what I need to update. And then they're checking the solution hash here. And to do that, they pass their secret, which only the defender knows. And this is the solution here. I think that would then, for my case, be their defense choice. And so I just got to match up these hashes correctly. So let's update that. So this should be more so like, we'll call it stored hash, makes more sense. Call that here too. Okay, so I think I have at least the commit and reveal portion kind of working. And I'm thinking that at least to start out, all this defense is going to be is a 0 or 1. So we can probably make this number, I don't know, even smaller. Let's just do like a uint 16 or something like that. So 0, and that would be, for right now, this would be like wood and food. That's like the options right now. Once I add like more resources, there'll be more things you can do, or maybe even like, I could add in the future ways to, I could add a lot more to this battling system. Like there could be more things that you're deciding, like what weapons you have, how many like soldiers you're gonna have go into this battle. Different, like that's kind of the direction I could take this, which I think could be really interesting. Okay. So I think kind of the next step is to handle our attack portion. And I think so that we'll call like an attack function, and they'll have to like save on chain who they chose to attack and what their decision was. And that doesn't have to be encrypted, I don't think. So so this is all the storage for this. And I think what we'll need to do is have a new struct that will be like an attack, and it's going to have attack decision, maybe attack choice, something like that. It's going to have a uint 256 of village ID attacked. So who are they attacking? And then a uint 8 of resource, or resource to steal, maybe we call it. And then, actually, what did I make this over here? I did a uint 16, so let's stick with that. Resource to steal. And then I think that might be all I need. It's like we would set this to be either empty. We could set it to be, maybe we just set the time that they attacked, because that could come in useful, and we could like set it to 0 after a battle has taken place so that they know that they can attack again. Time attacked. Something like that, I think would make sense. And so then what we'll have is a mapping from a uint 256, which is a village ID, a token ID, and it will go to attack decision. Token ID to attack decision. Okay, something like that. I think that will work. Yeah, if you're watching, feel free to let me know if I'm doing something wrong. Okay. So now let's go over here and let's talk to the AI. Let's talk with the AI. Make an attack function that takes in, let's see, that fills in the data for attack decision from, this is where we can pull in the file, so if it knows how to fill it out. I'm trying to think, what else will this function have to do? So it's basically they're just setting that. They're making a choice. And that's really it, right? Like they're just kind of choosing which village they're attacking, the decision, setting the time. And let's have it and emit an event for it. It's going to have to check if the it'll have to check if the time attacked I moved this to a different file. I think that messes things up. We need to set this back from app storage. Emit an event for it. Will need to check if the attack time is already set. It should revert if it is. All right, go to work. Let's see Let's see what the AI can do here. Gotta love AI. All right. Attack initiated. Attack decision. It's looking pretty good. It's setting that. Yeah. Let's see. Can you make the require use an if and revert a custom event? Just update that because I think that's kind of more standard in Solidity. What are you doing? Oh, it's like, we'll have to have some extra reverts on maybe something about like if the defender has already been attacked or something like that. And so we might have to store that data as well on the defender side so that they know that they've been attacked. There might be something there. Let's go ahead and apply this, accept. We'll call it attack. Or really, this should be like steal, shouldn't it? Just naming things. We'll call it attack because things will change later. It makes more sense for longer term, probably. So attack village. Attack already in progress. This is wrong. Oh no, that is right. If it's not 0, then it's already in progress. Restores to steal. Let's give these underscores. Let's see. So attacker village ID. We need to have I have a modifier here. Only village owner. I think I need to use that. Okay, so this might be looking decent now. We get their attack decision. We check attack already in progress. I'm going to say you have already made an attack, something like that. Set it and yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so trying to think if there's any more reverting I should do. Revert on, has that person already been attacked? So we need to look at the target village ID and we could either pull, so this is where I have to kind of figure out like what we want to do if the defender has not posted some defense, then there might be something else that we need to do. Or you could do something where you can only attack people that have defended. But then we have some extra incentive there where it doesn't make sense to set up your defense. And so there'd have to be some kind of like negative of not doing that, which I have to think of what that would be. Also have to think about, when do we set like the cooldown period? Is it on attack? Is it on defense? If we want you to be able to attack every 24 hours and defend every 24 hours, this is like a little soda thing. It's pretty good. But yeah, so this villager, the village needs to kind of keep track of, is it being attacked right now? And so that is, we could just set a bool on there, I guess. That could make sense. Or I think ideally it would be interesting as well if I figured out a system where a player could be attacked more than once. They could be attacked by multiple people, but then the attackers split up the resources that are stolen, or they both lose, whatever. That would probably be harder to do. All right, I think we'll set something like has been attacked. Something like that. That then means, I don't know how big this constructor can get, but it's getting kind of big for a village. So that's why, maybe I have to split this up somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask, because I don't know. And solidity. Let's see what it says. Gas costs, stack death. Yeah, stack too deep. Really the only problem is when I mint a village, you're well with reasonable limits. However, if you find yourself needing to add many more fields, consider these strategies. Split the struct into smaller, locally grouped structs. Use mappings for data that doesn't need to be accessed all at once. Gotcha. Well, that sounds good. Okay, so now that we has been attacked, let's tell it to get the village of the attacker and revert if they have already been attacked. How's it going, everybody? I don't know if I have some new people here where I need to explain what I'm doing again. If you want that, let me know. That's looking good. Has been attacked. What's this make? We'll do that. like so. Okay, and then so that's looking pretty good. I think we have to figure out the cooldown time of you're committed to me revealing everything. What do you mean? Revealing what? What do you want me to reveal? Ask the questions, and maybe I can answer. Nothing over here on Twitter yet. But I think maybe some viewers from there. It's hard to know because they always say views are like a gajillion views. Excuse me. So time attacked, yes. So yeah, let's think about the cooldown times. So if you attack, you can't attack for 24 hours. You also can't. Okay, glad you're following along. This is big brain. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like a little commit reveal scheme, attacking, defending. It's interesting. It makes for an interesting game. I'll have to make it be very intuitive on the front end side of like, so people know how to play and it's not going to be as hopefully complex as this looks. So yeah, since we're only saving the attack once, you can only attack once at a time, which means you can't attack again. You won't be able to attack again until the info is revealed. So technically, a defender could just like wait to reveal more than 24 hours and you can't do anything about it. And you wouldn't be able to attack again, which would hurt you. So that could be bad. I guess the other thing to think about, so yeah, if I had like an array of attacks, would maybe allow you to attack multiple people and not have to worry about the reveal, but that kind of sounds like too much for right now. I think the other thing is that the attacker or the defender, when we reveal, right? And so we're going to have to set up this reveal. They need to know who attacked them. We also need to revert if they have not been attacked yet. There's nothing for them to reveal here. So let's put it to do for that right here. Revert if they have not been attacked. What we could do. Good question. Asking, does the defender have to call the reveal or can that be public? So that cannot be public. The defender has to reveal it because they're the only one that knows the secret right here. And that's also what allows that choice to be private so that they can make a choice and then the attacker can make a choice and they don't know each other's choices until it's revealed. And so that has to be secret. And that's why we kind of have to push the defender to reveal by not letting them do anything else in the game. So kind of my idea is that they won't be able to chop wood. They won't be able to gather food. They won't be able to do anything until they've revealed that revealed the battle. So I have to have like a modifier on a lot of our other functions that we'll need to add. But I'm thinking in this reveal, we're going to need to know who our attacker is. And so instead of doing has been attacked, we need to know who have we been attacked by. And this would make sense too, maybe. Ooh, this fixes some problems. Okay, so what we do is this attack decision isn't posted just to the villager that attacked. It needs to be posted to this village itself so that then the attacker can make multiple attacks without having to wait for the reveal. And, we'll probably have like a 24-hour cooldown period, but that data, they could have multiple basically. And so I think what we could do then is either the mapping is token ID of both villages. That can maybe work. That's a nice kind of bookmark. What bookmark? I'm not sure what you're mentioning, but not sure if you're still there on YouTube or not. Okay, but yeah, this I think is making more sense maybe. So this is going to be has been attacked by village ID. And then they know who attacked them. It's going to be like 0 unless I don't think I have to look. Do we even have a token at 0? I might have left that open. The question is, do we have? Yeah, so 0 is open, which is good. 1 is the very first. So that's nice. And so this will be defender ID and attacker ID to attack decision. So this then becomes the key is both IDs together. Maybe this is a little confusing, so maybe I should put both IDs together, both attacker. Maybe even I'll just do like, which one should we do first? Does it matter? I don't think it matters. Attacker, village ID, and then we could do something like it's just numbers, so we should be able to do something like this, and then defender, village ID. I think that works. Let's see, no, just like marking sunrise, whatever you call the moment when defender reveals in order to get on with the day. Yeah, it's kind of like whenever they kind of come back to the app, they've got to like reveal what happened, and then it will notify the attacker the results as well, which I think will be kind of a cool feedback loop. Because that's when the battle's actually known on chain. So I think that's what's kind of cool is it's like a hidden battle and then it gets revealed. Okay, so this complicated name I think is now set. But I think that will work. And so then this still works. What should we call this? Maybe it's more like attacker village ID, nice and shorter. Okay, good. So now if we go back to our attack, Oh, whoops. Also, why is this doing attacker village? I think that's wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. We want to do... Oh, the AI was wrong, man. This should be... Yeah, let's change this name. Because so we're more consistent here. Change target village ID to defender village ID. And then this should be actually the Fender village ID, and this should be the Fender village. Let's see, why have I not saved here? Why am I not getting my attacker village ID? Yes. If that does not equal 0, then we've already been attacked. Okay. And then here is where we need to do our long name here. And this is going to be defender village ID plus that. I'm trying to remember. We'll just ask the AI, can you make the IDs into a concat, or can you concat the strings? What is the times thing there? Don't know if we want that. Thought I should use like an encode of some sort. Yeah, encode, yada yada, accept. Yeah, so we encode those two. Oh yeah, this works. And then I don't know if we actually have to hash it like that. Oh, I guess we do, because we want a uint 256. So maybe that works. This could make it harder for testing potentially. Or like if you wanted to just kind of view like villages, like I think the only other negative, if I do this, then I have to have like a string stored here maybe, which might not be as good, not sure. How do I convert this to a string? Oh, of course. Showing my rustiness on Solidity right now. Definitely some rustiness going on. Cool. Just seeing if anything's going on there. Okay, so I think I like this just because it's more readable on the blockchain. It might cause more storage though, but and it's just easier for me to kind of see what that is. Okay, so we make an attack. And so I think that's looking good. What else do we need to do here? So this attack decision. I think instead of this, yeah, that might be right. The time that they attacked. We also need to check if they had attacked already, and they're not allowed to attack. We revert if they've attacked in the last 24 hours. So that could be something we store just on the village last time attacked. Man, it's gonna I'm gonna need to be careful with my variable names because they're a little bit confusing of like, are you talking about them attacking or them being attacked? You know what I mean? So I have to be careful about that. Attacker village ID. Yeah, just like attacker village ID. I could do like attacked by village ID. Let's do that. Obviously, we got to change some things now, but that might be the only one. All right, and then we'll do unit 256. Time last attacked. So that's saved there. Those are defaults. This, I'm just wanting to like put some of this info here as a comment so that we know what these are. And so then also, do we need to have our time last defended? No, I think it's only, you can only attack every 24 hours and then you're kind of waiting to reveal. So I don't think we have anything else to store there, hopefully. Attacker / attackee, yes. Yeah, yes. So time last attacked. So we need to set that. And we can revert on it as well. So maybe do like right here, cover this over. Attacker village. If attacker village dot time last attacked is less than attack interval, that would be 24 hours to start out at least. Yeah, probably 24 hours with our other things we have. Constant. Then we'll have an error. Let's see my other errors like this. Just to make it similar. Attack time is not passed. And then here we revert there. Okay, this is kind of coming together. So they attack. We get the defender village. We see if the defender has already been attacked. If not, we revert. We then get the attacker village. We see if they have attacked in the last 24 hours. If they have, then we revert. Then we get the attack decision, which is something unique between these two. And that's kind of why we can't do the checks here as much, I don't think. Do we need this? You've already made an attack. Yeah, so I guess the idea here would be is the attacker can't change. Once they've made their decision on how they're going to attack, they can't change it. That's mainly what that, until the defender reverts it or reveals it. So that could be an interesting thing that we could allow them to change maybe. That could be interesting. But probably not. It just adds too much complexity. So then we revert that. Otherwise, we set the village ID attacked, resource to seal, time attacked. And again, this is set on our attack decision. So we might need... We kind of already know the village ID attacked, I guess. It's part of the key. So maybe we don't need that anymore. Yeah. We basically just need to make sure this can be accessed at reveal time. So at reveal, we know who you are. So we know defense committed. We know their ID and we know the attacker ID from here. So yeah, I don't think we need this. Saved. And we see the resources seal and we see the time attacked. This is interesting. I mean, there's kind of a lot of different stuff going on here. There's a lot of things to think about. There's a good amount of logic on these. So delete that. It's very interesting. I can just see there could be a lot of different options with this that could make it kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay, but I think our attack is done. I don't like this event name. Let's call it Attack Village. Also, why is this index? I don't think that's needed. I'm pretty sure that's not needed. AI is trying to trick us up here. Yeah, we didn't do that before. we're going to have to do some vigorous testing around this. Okay. All right, so then on the defense side, I think all we have to do is like finish the reveal. Okay, so if we need to get the defender village and check if they have been attacked. If not, revert a custom error. Okay. So we got the defender village. Attacked by village ID equals 0. Village. Revert there. Has not been attacked. More descriptive there. Okay, so they haven't been attacked, we revert. They haven't committed a defense, we revert. We then reveal their hash. Reveal hash doesn't match. Okay, so now we need to get their attacker village ID, which we have. We can just get it right here. Defender village. All right, so we need to get what was the attack decision, right? And that is being stored in this nice long thing. And we put the attacker village ID first. I don't know if that makes sense because I called it defender ID and attacker ID. So let's switch that. What did I do here? I did defender ID first. So let's change the name. Oh, the name's good. I just need to update this, I guess. And it's going to be similar to what we have right here. So I'll just grab this. Okay. I think this is all working. Let me know if you have any questions about what I'm up to here, if you joined in. So one of the cool things I'm trying to remember with this hash for the secret is it has their address in it. Oh yeah, I think that is what it is. Where it's like on chain, because it's using message.sender, only the right address can reveal this. It's something like that, which is cool. All right, so we have our attack decision, and we're going to see who won. This is the exciting part, right? Resource to steal. So we know which resource was stolen. Let's call this, because now we know more what it makes sense, resource to protect. Oops. Just making sure I changed everything there. Oops. Resource to protect. And so if they're the same, then the defense wins. Else attacker wins. Think that's looking good? Attacker and defender. We'll have quite a few different cases we're going to have to test with all this. All these different errors and stuff. So, should be fun. That's going to be fun. And we have a couple things we need to reset as well. So at this point, defense wins, attacker wins. I have to complete on deciding what everybody gets. So if the defense wins, or if the attacker wins, he's going to get the resource he picked. But how much of it, like maybe, and it probably should be kind of random too. Like that makes it a little more exciting. It's like a random number. And I could make the random number based on this because he doesn't know what that is and he's not the one picking it. Ooh, but then potentially there's some bad things where the defender could kind of like pick bad numbers for them. So that could be something to think about, I guess. But it could be a good start, I guess, for how to do that. And then if the defender wins, we could have the attacker lose. I guess what makes the game theory interesting? The attacker could lose the resource he wanted. That could maybe be too painful. He could lose. Also, we got to think about like what's simpler. He could lose a villager. Villagers are pretty valuable. Villagers are pretty valuable because that's in the future. Like you're gonna need villagers to do work and stuff for you, and that's how you move your economy forward. But it could be almost too painful. Like if you're losing a villager, you need so much resources to get a villager. So we might do that they lose the same amount of the resource they were about to get or something like that. That might make sense. Also, should the defender get something for winning? I don't know. I haven't thought through all this, as you can tell. But we at least know for the attacker, So it could be something like defender. We also have to take into account how much of the resource they have. Maybe they don't have anything. So then they just get 0, I guess. Edge. Might need to make an extra like helper function for this because I think this could get a little long potentially. So before we do that, let's think what we need to reset so that everything can continue. So we need to reset the attack decision time back to 0 so that they can be attacked again. We technically need to set the date on there, but that will get set later. So that gets reset. The secret gets reset so that they can this is actually defense hash, or no, we need to call this stored hash, I guess is what we're calling it, stored hash. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so we reset that. We reset this. We then reset attacked by village ID to 0. And this does not get set because yeah, so the defender attacked by a village ID should update. That's like that. I'll call this reset everything for next battle. Okay, I think that's everything. I think that's everything I need to reset. Time last attacked should stay for the attacker because they can't attack until that happens. Now, we might need to have also a defense last attacked. So you can only be attacked every 24 hours. And we set that on the village as well, but on the defender village. Because I don't think we have anything reverting on that. Village has already been attacked. We have that. Attack time for the attacker. Yeah, we need something for the defender to not be attacked over and over and over and over again. I'm wondering if I should set it on the time that they were attacked or if I should set it on the time that they defended. I think attacked because then they're only being attacked every 24 hours. It doesn't matter when they defend. Time last. These are too similar. By someone. Something along like that. Time last attacked by someone. That be good enough. So if we go to attack, where did I set the time elapsed attacked as well? Oh, right here. We need to set this, don't we? Time elapsed attacked. We'll set it at the end after everything has been set. Do we have the defender village here? Yes. So many attacks, right? Am I right? It's just attacks everywhere. Attacked by this, attacked by that. Okay, I think that works there. And then, I think I need to stand up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute and I'm going to see if I can move my whole desk. Let's see if this works. This might take a second. Let's see. Okay, maybe that works. Now that I'm standing. Okay. Okay, so we reverted on that. We need to have something similar to this. Time last by someone, and then this is our defender village. So then we'll have an error. Village has been attacked in the interval, something like that. Interval. Okay. That's good. We set both of those. We don't need to reset them. So yes, I think everything is coming together. We reset everything we need to reset. Time attacked by village ID. These don't need to reset. Okay, sweet. This is coming together. This is happening. Okay, so kind of the last thing is on reveal. We need to figure out what to do if the defense wins and what to do if the attacker wins. We could maybe make a library that with some extra functions for these that handles it. I think the other thing I kind of need to do, I guess I'm hard coding some things. So it's like if it's 0, if it's 1, I'll like remove some wood or whatever. We'll call it attack library. I'll just copy some of these things. I have the random library in here, so I can reuse that. I think I also have access to the storage if I need it. Handle. Let's see. Handle defense wins. Something like that. And then we can do another one for handling attacker wins. Okay, we have a random number we can bring in. I'm trying to remember how I access the storage from here. Could maybe, yeah, I guess I could pass it in. If I do it as storage, I think that works. All right, so we need to know we probably want both the defensive village and the defender village and attacker village. We need what the resource to protect was. Okay. So if the resource protect equals 0, then we're doing something I think with wood. Otherwise, resource is wood, resource is food. We've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes now. Not too bad. must have spelled something wrong there. Let's just make sure 0 is wood, 1 is food. Yes. Okay, so if it's 0, we're going to say that the defender let's get our random amount here first. You could get like a random number from 1 to 2 to start out. Like, I don't want to do too much. Or maybe 1 to 3. I need to do something more like this. We could do 2 to 4, 2 to 2 to 4. Let's do that to start out. But then before we also do that, we need to see if they have that much, which I guess we have to do that in here. So the defender wins. So we're automatically going to give them amount resource. I wonder, so say the attacker doesn't have that much resource, then the defender should not get all this. They should only get how much left they have. So we're going to have to change that. So if amount resource is greater than attacker village.wood, then we're going to set amount resource to equal village.wood. So then we update it so that we only are taking what they have, as much as they have. We set this to be amount resource, and then we set, what's wrong here? Not a view function anymore. And so then attacker dot wood minus equals amount resource. Cool. I think that works. I think it just works, you know? That's pretty cool. Okay, so otherwise, if it's food, we're basically going to do, let's put this back here. We're going to do the exact same thing, but with food. Okay, you like it like that. And boom, that's how it works. We need to change the name of this library here to attack library. So either we just use the same function and we just switch. it's going to be kind of a copy, but I think I'd rather just make it straightforward. Because I could kind of just switch the villages and then switch what this is. Yeah, would that work? We switch the villages. I guess the question is, do we want it just to be that the attacker or defender always loses with the defender picked? Maybe. Let's just see if this is going to look any different if I create this function. Handle attacker wins. So yeah, because we could just kind of swap. We just do like village 1, village 2. It's like the battles will potentially a lot of times go for, it's like which one are they going to choose? The one that you want. Yeah, there's kind of like a back and forth of what resources people want. Okay, so I think the only difference maybe is, do I want there to be more or less resources won or lost based on if you're attacking or defending? I don't think so. Let's just keep it simple. So let's do village 1, village 2, handle, battle, result maybe. Let's see. So we just need to maybe change it to be like village 1, village lost. All right, we'll do winner village, and loser village. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. So then basically we just do the winner first. When we call this, so I do all right, so our seed is going to be maybe it's just like this. Maybe it's that encoded. And then we want the winner, winner, loser, resource to protect. So defense wins. So defense, village, attacker. Because I don't have the attacker village yet. After we get this done, we'll have the fun job of writing all the tests for this. Okay. Now, we also are going to have to do an event, so we might want to have this helper function spit back some information, probably. That would probably be good. That's not quite right. Not sure why it's not showing me errors there. Token ID. S.token ID to village. All right, so now we do this and then flip attacker and defender. So at the end of this whole thing, what are we going to want to emit? We're going to want to emit who won and how many resources were taken away or added or taken away. So in here, let's return I'm just thinking, I guess we could emit the event here. I think it's good practice to always emit events at the end. Let's see what the AI thinks. Yeah, avoiding reverts. So we could just like set some variables here and then just like emit them there, even though we're getting everything from here. So maybe it's a little confusing. That's why it's like you could have just, at least this makes it so I have more reusable code. All right, so let's do the winner village dot token ID. So they're the winner. We're gonna admit that they're the winner. And we're gonna admit how much resources that have been swapped. And then we'll do loser village as well. something like that. What do you mean? Village ID is what we actually want here. Guess we just have to make this a 256 then. So Winter Village, yada yada, yeah. We technically, because I'm setting this on either one, we can technically have this out here and just remove those returns. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. Let's copy that, bring it over here, say this is equal to that, and then we'll do something like that. Handle battle results. Do I need to do something else to use that library? Oh yeah, I just need to call it. Cannot convert. Let's ask the AI. How do I convert this to a int 256? Yeah, tests are the best part. Yeah. I guess you could say that. It is kind of cool to actually see your stuff work at that point. All right, so now basically we put this whole thing right here and then just swap those. Let's do, so we don't have to say this twice. Let's make this be seed. And then we'll pass it here. We have written a lot of code, so let's just hope there's no bugs, right? All right, so attacker wins. And just like that, I think that might be everything. Oh wait, we just got to emit, reveal battle results. And this is going to pass winner, loser, amount, resource. We need to fix this variable. All right, wow. We did a lot of code. I think that's it. We'll walk through it again, but I mean, so we got 110 lines in there. We've got 74 lines there. We've got 40 lines there. Added all the different variables on the storage here. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay, so let's just walk through this to make sure things make sense. So we get the stored hash that was already there. If it's 0, then we revert because they have not committed. They always have to commit first. We check if it's the village owner of the token ID that they're wanting to mess with, so that's good. We get the defender village. We get the attacker village ID, so we know who they've been attacked by. If that's 0, then they have not been attacked, so we revert. We then reveal the hash. Okay, so we reveal the hash. If that's not the same to the stored hash, they don't match, so you're trying to hack something. Basically, you're a hacker if that reverts. So we got that. Then we get our attack decision, which is based on the defender who's called this, plus the attacker village ID, so that looks right. So we get the attack decision from the attacker. We also get the attacker village, so that we have that. We then get our default emit data here. We get a seed that we can use. Later I'm going to have to basically make this more random. Right now this is like kind of pseudo-random, I guess you could say. We have this rando library that takes in a seed, does a block hash based on timestamp and stuff. So like it's pseudo-random. It's not perfectly random. And to do perfect random numbers on this, I would probably have to do some kind of a little bit of a commit reveal kind of thing as well, potentially. In some ways, we already have the commit reveal here, so that it kind of is random, I guess. We could add they commit something else random at the same time, maybe. But yeah, so that's good enough for now. Get our seed, and then if the resource protect is the same as what the attacker chose, then the defense wins, handle the result. Otherwise, attacker wins, handle the result. Then we set everything for the next battle. They haven't been attacked anymore. yeah, pretty cool. And then just in our library here, the Winter Village is getting this stuff. 2 to 4 of them, or however much they have for the loser. Okay. So, yeah, this is, that's pretty much it. Because then, just make sure we're setting the right thing. So, that would be 0. Time last attacked by someone. Those both stay updated. Oh, I need something here. Time last attacked. Time last attacked by someone. Sweet. I wonder, okay, so yeah, this is a good idea. So for the start of the game, your village, you start at 0. Before I did some block timestamps, and I don't know if I need to do that. Your time last attacked would definitely be big. So you can be attacked like right away. So that could be interesting. Maybe we set this like into the future. So it's like you can't be attacked. Maybe you can attack someone right away, but you can't. Probably for both of them, it's like we might want it to be where they can't attack for their first day or two, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. There could definitely be, I could definitely see changing some of that stuff as I handle the onboarding, because what I'd like to do with the onboarding is basically give people a feel of the whole game, kind of like getting some resources, doing an attack, being able to buy a hut. So it's like, I think I'm actually going to like give them some resources pretty early on, like after they do their first kind of action or two, to kind of just give them, kind of let them learn the game a little bit and hopefully get hooked so that they want to come back. So this stuff will probably change. So I guess for testing this, we'll kind of just go through each function, starting out with committing the defense, and then revealing, and then doing the attack and then revealing. There'll be multiple things to kind of look at. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, I could see like wanting some rules of like you can't attack if you have 0 resources. Well, maybe you can. I guess because I could see what happens is there's a strategy there where it's like you basically spend as fast as possible so that you have nothing to give away. Nothing. No one can take. That's interesting. Maybe we'll just see what happens. We'll see what people do with that. Because if you have no resources and no one can take your stuff, so maybe we have to be like, hey, you can't attack if you, or it's like maybe that's just a cool strategy where it's like you try to use your stuff as quickly as possible and not have anything. That could be interesting. A lot of interesting little things that could happen here. So with my tests, to test this, we took really not bad. We took an hour, how long I've been going for. And the first part of it, it's been an hour and a half. The first part was on more than just like we kind of talked through stuff. So in about maybe an hour and 15 minutes, we just created our whole first battle systems. That's pretty good, but it's probably going to take me another hour, maybe 2 hours to test all this stuff. Because we've got, tests can take a while to set up right, but very important that we do it right. So, and I feel like even more so than a lot of my other functions, these are kind of doing a lot. Like if we look at like our resource ones, it's like chopping wood. It's just like you're getting one thing. It's just changing one variable basically in storage. So kind of a lot more going on there. Let's at least just see if we can build this thing. See if we have any compiler errors, which we do on defend facet 86. Let's see, what's the issue here? Compile error. Try removing local variables. Oh, do I have like a stack overflow or like stack too deep? No, that's the worst. So, probably because we're passing in an entire village, 2 entire villages, and this. So there's a lot going on there. What's the best way to handle this? We could probably ideally, and actually now I think about this is probably, I don't know. I'm not sure if this changes the gas efficiency too much, but if we just pass in the village IDs, we might be able to get them in here. I just have to remember how that works. And that would fix that problem, I think. So we could do something like that. I need to remember where there's an example of that. Probably online here. Probably the best way I'm going to find it, because I know I read about this somewhere, is probably if I go here to this repo. It's one of these articles. I read like all of these articles when I was preparing to do this. Diamond storage. It's one of these, I feel like. Let's see. Because basically we want to be able to access our diamond storage from a library. Oh, maybe right here. Oh, this is the storage itself. Looks like my computer's starting to struggle a little bit. Not those ones. Well, I'm not finding it. Let's just see. What we might try to do is, I think if we just import it, Well, we already have. Oh, it's like app storage root maybe. Let's see. I've done this. Yeah, because there's the app storage there. So if we can. So it's like if we do this, I don't think, since it's a library, I don't think we can say like this. I don't think that works. Maybe it does work. Something like this, but yeah, it's yelling because that is not where that is. Okay, so library is not allowed to inherit, like I figured. Wonder if it app storage. What if we just, can we get just S from there? We have, I think because it's abstract, we probably, yeah, we can't. How do we do it? I don't remember. All right, we'll take a chance on the AI. I doubt the AI is going to know how to do this. How can we get the app storage for the diamond in this library so we can update it? I doubt that it would know how to do this stuff. Now we can modify to use the app storage. Yeah, that's what I already did. That's what I already tried, man. So that's not correct. It's like, we need to like use a library in another library. Because I think that's what we need. Because the app storage has like a library, I believe. I don't think so. You're telling me the exact same thing? Let's see. So we have Diamond, libraries, lib app storage. So maybe we can just grab this. Oh, and if we call app storage, then we can use it because it's grabbing it from this slot 0, which I think allows the libraries to access protocol state via app storage found at slot 0. Okay, I think we found it. I think this is it. Yes. That's pretty cool. So this is under remappings. And then we go to Diamond, libraries. I have to remember this. This is actually really nice because then I could make like helper functions and stuff that are actually accessing things. Boom. And so then we can do like lib app storage dot. Should just be dot app storage. Like that. Like this. Village storage pointer is not implicitly convertible to expected type. Oh. I was like, what? What's going on, man? Okay. We might be in business. We might be in business. We just have to update here. I don't think we even need the attacker village there anymore, which is good. I think that it's actually token ID in here. Yeah. Okay, so just like that, and then we might be good. Add some helper functions like these, where I was returning the data, and then I would update the village, or like this, where I'm passing a village. So it'd probably be better if I changed these to pass the village ID and like access stuff that way. It's probably safer. All right, let's see if we can build. Come on. This would be big if this just worked. Boom, look like that. just like that. We fixed it. We're back on track. We've got 4 minutes until I can chop wood. We've got 7 minutes till I can gather food. So that's pretty exciting. Because then we can move up in the world. Looks like it's getting intense. There's starting to be some huts built here. All right. Well, I think, it's been an hour and 45 minutes. I think this is probably where I'm going to end this. And, I have some work ahead of me. I've got a decent amount of testing to do, but this has been pretty fun. And, it'll probably take me, 2 hours or so to test all this. And then we have the UI to do. Well, actually, no, we have the indexer to do. So there's quite a bit of data to index from here. All the events that happen, we've got to index and make sure that we're keeping track of that. Once we have the indexer working, then we can work on the UI side. And kind of my plan for that is probably have to move some of these resources that are showing up for each player off, maybe only have 1 or 2 of them, and then have like a button to like battle. And that brings up like a little pop-up where it shows more of the resources for that person. And then you can choose to steal one of them. So there'll definitely be some UI stuff to do. And then, handling the states of, can you battle this person? Who can you battle? There's quite a bit to do on the UI stuff. So that could take some time. But it's going to be cool. I'm excited for it. And it'll be very interesting to see people start battling. And then, there's so many things to add, like having activity. I need like an activity screen so that everyone can see whatever other people are doing and like who's attacking who and stuff like that. I think that will be interesting. All right, but I hope you enjoyed this. If you have been here, hey, it looks like you've been here for a while, cooking with fire. Yeah, trying to do some cooking. So thanks for joining along. This has been